There we go.
Okay, next I gotta talk about the grievance that is the holidays. I I think most people can agree that at this point in our lives, it is the most stressful, most BS thing. The way that like it, my parents like love them, but at the same time, I don't understand why they demand this asinine standard for the holiday of like I always show up and they tell me I kid you not every year every holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Christmas Eve, if it's at their house, they always tell me, like, hey, it's at this time, expecting me to be late. Well, now they're at this point where they're like, hey, be here at this time. And it's like, okay, I'm not going to be late. Like, you know, I hope you're not padding this. No, they're padding it because they want me to do all these chores for them because what am I going to do? Sit there for 3 hours and do nothing? They're at this point where they tell me to be there. Hey, be here at 10 o'clock. It's like, okay, and we're not gonna eat until 1.
And
So
fix our computer.
well, nope, I haven't been asked that yet. My dad has a person in town and specifically to help him out with that kind of stuff. Some so anyways, the thing that drives me insane is the
Oh yeah,
one
my dad was
year.
asking about your dad's wood. Is he still working on it?
Yeah, my dad loves
Cool.
playing with wood.
Good, good. So everything is still active there in the that area.
In the wood shop.
Yeah, yeah.
It just made that sound worse.
Well, because he checked. It's always quiet in that area when my dad looks at it, and he wasn't sure if it was still working.
What do you mean? Like,
Oh,
yeah.
it's always quiet when he checks it out.
Oh, he's not in the shop that he was in before. That's a painting place.
Ah, okay,
I think that's
okay.
what your dad is trying to do. Like, no, my dad moved shops. He's, ugh,
I had to go with the euphemisms, but I
yeah,
see that's why you are Fox Boy. There you go.
yeah. Fox boy. Oh,
You figure it all out.
yep. Because I am swift and smart, said no one ever.
You are very coy. Not everything needs to be said for you to understand it.
Because I am so smart. SMRT. Okay, enough ADD going on here. But my grievance definitely is getting so stressed out that it's no longer fun. It's no longer something I want to be a part of. And I think a lot of people get to that point too. Is the last couple of years, my she's my stepmother, but she's the only mother that's around. She has made some of the worst comments I can't believe. Like I don't know if you ever got the one where they make a comment of like you don't know how long grandma's gonna be around. And it's like,
Oh, she's gonna guilt you? That sounds like my dad.
yeah, like what the fuck is that? Yeah, this makes me really want to hang out with you guys. Yep, mm-hmm. Grandma can't hear shit. Like
But
literally, grandma literally, I sat next to her. I asked her questions. She just stared at her bowl of soup, and I'm like, grandma, kind of a deal. And then my aunt leans over and she's just like, oh, grandma's really hard of hearing. You need to talk a lot louder. I'm like, oh, now you fucking tell me. I've been saying shit to her for the last 20 minutes. Oh my God. And then like, oh, and then like just comments, like, and then, oh God, that made me so angry. And I'm like, and then she asked me questions and then she turns her head and I feel like I'm trying to like being impolite at this point of I'm like yelling and I'm like sitting next to her and all I can think of is like when you're in a restaurant and somebody else is on their phone screaming on it. It's like it's against your ear. They're not halfway across this room. The people across the room can hear you talking. Like chill the fuck out or leave. Oh, and then I think the coup de grace of all of it is when they tell you that, oh, it's just going to be a low key thing. And then you're like, oh, okay, so show up when I can show up, whatever. You show up at like 7 o'clock because you were doing something else, whatever. Like, I mean, for me, I was working nights. I'm not going to get up until like 2 in the afternoon. And then, like, deal with my dogs for a while, do this and that. And then I showed up. They were super pissed. They're like, where have you been? where you've been all day. It's just like I was asleep until I got up at like 3 o'clock because I wanted to sleep in. Then I hung out with my dogs for 2 hours, and then I drove over here, which took me a while. Like, what's the problem here? And they're like, well, we thought you were gonna be here at noon. It's like, what the fuck makes you think I'm gonna get up early on my day off for a holiday to show up to your house and then stick around till for 7 hours? No.
Well, that actually sounds a lot like my parents, because I think helicopter parents, they eventually turn into parents that demand that you stay under their purview.
Oh yeah. And then
Like
they
they have a headlight, and if you go into a new territory, that's not good.
yeah. I wouldn't say they're helicopter parents by any means, but still.
Well, I'm maybe satellite parents. Mine are much more, maybe not helicopter parents, but watchtower parents.
Oh, guards.
Yeah, yeah. Where like, did you go further than across the street? You don't exist anymore. We can't see you.
What do you mean you win one house over from your friend's place?
What? Whoa! Wee-oo.
Here it comes the meat wagon.
uh, and then with your family, I think I think yours would be more of like satellite parents. It's like, well, he's somewhere around town.
Hey, he's back before sundown. That's kind of how they got to after a while.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like we don't even ring a bell. We just kind of have a signal.
my favorite is like
We
I didn't
howl.
I didn't have a phone for like until my senior year, until I turned pretty much 18. Then my parents are like, "Well, you need a cell phone now." And it's like, I've been needing that shit for a long time. You guys are just figuring this out. And because they didn't want me to be like my sister. They're like, "Well, we're not going to pay for you. You're going to do overages like your sister." It's like, who am I going to talk to? Like, literally, it's going to be you people, and then like five of my friends. Oh my god. Yeah, I got that cell phone, and literally, it was one of those, what do you call it, like pay as you go things.
Oh,
I think about one of those cards, and it lasted me for literally 3 months. Like that's how little I talk to people.
oh man. I think that for me, I probably just use the at-home phone line a little more than a lot of people.
Yeah.
Just because there wasn't that much going on. So it was like there's internet, there's reading, there's video games, there's the friends who are nearby. I could bike to their places and bug them. um uh yeah, I like just biking to all the stores and stuff that were nearby. I really don't have a good story behind that other than the fact that I would probably go to Walmart, Kmart, and Target all in one day and not buy anything just for the sake of avoiding everyone at my house.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I would just bike and then go to each of them. And then I would have a pretty solid knowledge of what was on sale at each of them at any point in time. So if I wanted to find like a movie for $2, it was usually not that difficult. I remember I paid $2 for Max Payne 2.
Oh yeah.
That video game on PS2. So yeah, there were a lot of ridiculously cheap pieces of media that I used to just distract myself through I wouldn't call it childhood. I would just call it the void.
Man childhood.
Nah, man childhood was marriage.
I like it.
Yeah. Marriage number 1 is man childhood. Uh Marriage number 2, I'm not sure. We're gonna determine what that'll be. That'll happen eventually.
Maybe. Kind of, yes.
Well, for me, I think that'll happen. I don't know about you. No, it'll happen for you.
I'm a
Let's get
real boy.
let's get Lua over here.
Ah, you said her name. My little
Lua,
boy.
make Dusty propose.
Oh God, no, no, bad man, bad man. We're gonna wipe that whole section anyways. But no, no,
I am the marriage whisperer for everyone.
no, it's not happening.
Never again.
Never again. She was married and she said the same thing. She's just like, no, I don't want this. I'm just like, yay! I have a friend in this.
Uh,
Yeah, we both, yeah,
well, it
that was
matters that
something
you
we
are.
actually,
Go ahead.
that was something both of us were very like keen on of like, this is not gonna happen.
Hmm.
We're like, I'm not getting married. And she's like, I don't want to get married. So we're both just like, cool, we're in agreement.
Well, good that you are both on the same page and on the same word and on the same letter, using the same font and the same color.
In
All
the
of that.
same way. In the same way.
Exactly. So, I don't know. It sounds almost too perfect. Uh,
Uh,
any,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
maybe.
Oh, life. Just to make it awkward for everybody, but that's okay. So when it comes to the holidays, you're going to have to deal with your family. I am going to have to deal with myself.
Pound Town.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Sitting there at the table by yourself, just jerking it, eating some turkey,
Table? What table?
desk, whatever. Just making aggressive eye contact with the cat every so often. Oh, oh, too far, too far.
This time it was you. This time it
Yeah,
was you.
yep, yep.
Oh,
Oh man.
tell you what, I think how we both spend our holidays, that's a good place to cut the segment right there.
Yep.